So we have a couple of sales scenarios that we can go through on practice interactions. And let us try this Michael Brown. So we've tried this before. So this is a burnt customer, right? So they've tried your service before, something similar to your tool. It did not work well, and they are skeptical about using it. So let's do this scenario. Sorry. So it's loading. So it says we've tried this before. It's a burnt customer. His name is Michael Brown. So let's start the practice call and let's try and convince them.
We tried something like this before. It was a disaster. Cost us 6 months and $100,000.
Hi, Michael. So I completely understand your reservation, but can you just walk me through, what specifically did not work with that tool? Right.
The integration was a nightmare. The system promised seamless compatibility with our existing infrastructure, but it turned out to be anything but that. We faced constant downtime. Data was not syncing properly, and their support was almost non-existent. I need to know how you are genuinely different and why I should believe any promises now.
Okay, so I understand that. Thank you for sharing that. So first of all, integration is very critical and it's something that we plan for before beginning any project with any client because as you understand, this solution is very custom. So we always try to understand your tools. Well, we want to understand your Salesforce, want to understand how that integrates with lead score, and we basically want to understand all of that before we begin any project. So we take the time to prep our IT before we get into development to ensure that it integrates properly with your tools. We create a proper sandbox to do all the testing, and then once we are sure, that's when we launch out so that we don't, because you're not just losing money when you are um, with loss of time, right? You're also losing time as well, which is leading to loss of dollars, right? So we also help with that, and then we also help with ensuring that your team is able to, you know, be onboarded quickly, and they are able to use the tool efficiently. So that would really help to ensure that you don't have that same process again. I don't know if that helps.
Right. That's part of the problem. We heard the same promises last time. We take the time to prep. We test everything in a sandbox. We make sure it works before launch. And yet, we still had an implementation that brought half of our back into a crawl, burned developer hours we didn't budget for, and forced us to roll back to legacy systems while eating crow with stakeholders who'd already bought in. So no. Hearing that you help, you're welcome. Frankly, I'm not looking for another polished pitch. If you're serious about this, come back with a detailed technical breakdown, how your integration layer handles edge cases, what your rollback procedures are, and exactly what guarantees you provide in writing. If you've studied the failures of similar systems, including the one we implemented, I want to hear how your architecture avoids those same pitfalls, not just that you test before launch. Otherwise, it's just noise. Good luck.
All right, thank you. So we're going to end the call there because it's just about 3 minutes, and I'm trying to keep this demo short. But as you can see that, this our sales scenario does not. I mean, it doesn't play at all. It's really very intensive. It's high, and yeah, the objections can be crafted with your industry in mind, with the organization in mind, and your salespeople being able to practice this over and over and over again, it will just help improve them, help improve their capability to handle those objections, and also it would prepare them, for what they need to do out there. So thank you. That's basically the demo. And if I click into view full results, I'll be able to see a breakdown of my performance. You can see that I didn't score so well. Um, and yeah, you have it categories which will be based off your goals, So these categories are, um, they are AI built, so it's a bit more custom to each scenario. So you can see here you have past failure empathy. The salesperson showed a decent level of empathy, so yeah, I did well there. Differentiation, not so well. Implementation confidence, which was a big thing for the client. I didn't show enough technical expertise in terms of my ability to integrate and implement their solutions, just like what they were requesting for, with a proper technical breakdown of how it would work. And then rebuilding trust, because of course this person has lost a lot of money and lost a lot of trust in the industry. So just being able to practice, being able to build that trust back again. So these are different scenarios. So you can literally go through your organization and look at all the different scenarios and be able to say, okay, you know what, I want to create specific scenarios that my salespeople can practice with, and let's get this, going over and over again. Let's get them working with our scripts. Let's get them churning out the right words, the right, answers to these objections, the right questions that they should be asking. And at the end of the day, you're gonna have a sales team that would perform a whole lot better in the marketplace. So thank you, and hope this helps.